and welcome back to yet another video, and to one of my favorite videos to do every single year. It's time for the 2024 Christmas haul. Yesterday, of course, was Christmas, and I hope you guys had a great day if you celebrate it. I know I did. I had a whole lot of fun. Got a lot of really cool stuff, both Cars stuff and non-Cars stuff. But of course, we're here today to showcase the cars that I got for Christmas. We have 10 items total, I believe, and I'm very, very excited. I always say that this is one of my favorite videos to do every year, and it's because I love being able to showcase to you guys what cars you can expect to see me reviewing on the channel in the near future. A lot of really great items here today. Now, the funny thing is, I have a lot more cars than usual to review right about now. Over the summer, I got some insanely cool cars hauls, as I'm sure you guys remember, and I've been making my way through reviewing all the cars from those. I still have quite a few left. And I also have some new cars items that I've gotten in the last few weeks that my stores have finally started to catch up recently. So quite a few items to review. These new Christmas cars are just kind of adding on to the pile, but I love it. I've never had a time in my channel where I have so many reviews to do, and sometimes it can be a little stressful, but it's also very, very, very fun. So as per usual, I'm going to show you guys these cars in kind of sort of release order. We are going to start off with a pretty interesting one, or I guess a pretty interesting pair. Let's take it back to 2010, to the first Cars movie for our first item, or should I say first two items, because despite being singles, these two cars fit together so perfectly, it's kind of weird that they were made as singles. From the 2010 Final Lap collection, here's Johnny and Jamie. These are two background characters that I could not for the life of me find in the movie as a kid. I was so confused as to why they were like the last entry in Meet the Cars. They are probably some of the most obscure Cars characters we've ever gotten in the diecast line. They appear like drooling off the edge of the LA Speedway. Disgusting. And their diecasts are honestly pretty disappointing to me. Number one, they were singles, which is weird. I know the Final Lap collection didn't do 2-packs, but still, it's just weird to see two cars who even share a Meet the Cars entry and a Car Finder entry being on their own. But also, they're not spitting. And that's probably the weirdest criticism I will ever give an item on my channel. But I feel like if these guys were made nowadays, they would be much more scene specific. They'd be in a nice 2-pack, they'd both be spitting, they'd have like a little plastic spit hanging from their mouths. Great start to the video, Ty, thank you. But these two are background characters that have always been pretty cheap online, and I never really looked for them. I always talk about how much I love getting just generic American vehicles, and these two fit that mold really, really well. A lot of really great background characters I got this year, and these two can fill so many purposes in my series. They're some of the most generic Cars characters I think we've ever gotten in the diecast line, and that's really, really nice when you make a series or you make as many projects as I do, or just to put in your collection. These guys will go with my race fans, but they really do fit in anywhere. Now, the funny thing about this is, you see, when my parents, shout out my parents, amazing as always for following my very, very, very sometimes confusing world of cars collecting. It's always fun to see my mom, who does a lot of the buying, kind of navigate and ask me questions and try to figure it out. But seriously, huge thank you to my family, to everybody who got me gifts this year. Like I said, I got a lot of really, really fun stuff, and without them and their gratefulness, it wouldn't be possible. This video wouldn't be here. So huge thank you to all of them. So my mom told me that she ordered Johnny and Jamie, but the seller, I believe, just sent Jamie and sent a different car in Johnny's place by accident. One that I already have, but when she contacted the seller, they said, okay, sorry about that, I'll send you the correct other car. And instead of asking her to return the car I was sent by accident, they just said to keep it. So now I have a spare of race damage moves. I'm kidding. Now I have a spare of Valerie V8, a very cool background character, one I used quite prominently in Cars Adventures. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this. I'll probably keep her in the box for now, and then eventually repaint her for a video probably. But yeah, we're really insanely nice of the seller. They did not have to do that, you know, let us keep the wrong car after they sent the right one. But Really, really nice. Now we've got a duplicate of Valerie. I don't know what I'll do with her, but I don't know. I'll do something. But yeah, very, very nice of that seller to do that. So let's move these guys off to the back. They could watch. They could spit off the side of my table where I'm filming this. Anyway, our next item, let's stay on the topic of Cars 1, right? Let's see, quite a few unique Cars 1 items this year. Let's see. Who's next? I like to go in kind of chronological order. So let's jump up to 2013, 2014, a car I'm very excited to review because of the packaging style alone. This is a character who's been released quite a few times and was originally actually a final lap release. It is Costanzo della Corsa. Now, Costanzo is one of the two Maseratis that goes to Luigi's alongside Ferrari F430. We've received Antonio Veloce Excelente multiple times over the past few years, but for some reason, Costanzo, who's on the other side of him, hasn't come back yet. And at this point, I decided to cut my losses. He's not a very rare item, so I asked for him for Christmas as well. For those of you wondering, I always write a lot of options for cars, so it's always fun for me to see which ones in particular I get. I always make sure to leave a lot of options because, like I said before, buying cars can be complicated. So many different releases and re-releases, and prices are fluctuating so much. So always like to leave a lot of options. So it's really fun for me to see which of them I'll get. Costanzo here is a really nice model. I believe I now have all the Maseratis in the Cars diecast line, but I'm really excited about the fact that this is his Radiator Springs Classic release, and I don't think I've ever reviewed a car on this packaging style on the channel before. I always love getting to review cars on card back styles that I haven't taken a look at or don't take a look at often. So getting one on this style card back is honestly really, really neat. And I'm like equally as excited for that as I am for Costanzo himself. It is really nice to complete the group. That's with the Ferrari though. Watch my luck, right? Watch Costanzo come back in 2025. He honestly should. The fact that he hasn't come back is just so strange to me. I don't get it. Now, for our next Cars 1 item, we have two items from the first movie left. We're going to have to jump up a couple more years to 2015 for an item I'm honestly pretty excited about. This one is a deluxe. It's Benny Brake Drum, of course, a repaint of Murphy from the first Cars movie. This is a super obscure background race fan character, kind of like Johnny and Jamie, super background character. But this is an item, another one that's surprisingly not that hard to find online these days, and he's honestly a really nice car. He's a really great generic background character, very, very, very similar to the Sarge's Boot Camp cars. You could almost sub him in there and nobody would know the difference, right? He even has a kind of nervous expression like a lot of them. But Benny Brake Drum is a car that I never really considered adding to my collection. Actually, I think I have a few times just because his price has always been pretty decent and he's a really good blank background character. But now I'm super excited to have him. Always love having new background characters. And as you can see, we have kind of a theme of background characters here, but our next few items are cars with a bit more of an interesting story behind them. We'll put Benny here in the back, probably one of my favorite items here today. He's just so unique, a Murphy repaint, or I guess reuse of the Murphy mold. Now, as you can see, when I'm picking out what cars to get, a lot of them are cars that I want to be able to use in videos beyond just their review. A lot of cars that I add to my collection that are older are ones that I know I could use in Cars Adventures or other series on the channel, but a lot of the time I'll ask for a car just because I want that car. And one thing that I wanted this year were some hauler cabs. Hauler cabs are surprisingly inexpensive sometimes, despite the ridiculous price of haulers themselves. You can get a lot of hauler cabs for pretty good prices, especially some of the older ones from 2009 or so. And so every once in a while, I'll throw a few hauler cabs on my list, and this year I got a new one that I'm super excited about because it's genuinely, I think, one of the best hauler cabs we've ever gotten, and it's also a member of a super iconic Cars team. It is from 2016, Eric Rodales. the Nitroid Cab. I am really happy to have gotten this one. I just realized just now while introducing him to the video that I actually don't have any other Nitroid team members. And while cabs are usually not my favorite because it's just the front half of the hauler and nothing else, I think Eric here is easily one of the best looking ones we've gotten. Any cab we've gotten from like 2016 and onward is an all-time great cab in my opinion. They all look so good nowadays. And Eric is just such an interesting release in my opinion. I remember back in 2016 how strange it was to see him coming out. Even just looking at the 2016 poster, there was just randomly a new version of the Nitroid hauler cab. And for the record, we'd already gotten the Nitroid hauler released like 6 years before in 2010, maybe even 2009, and he had a different expression. And I think this is such a unique release and also just better than that original one in every way, honestly, other than the fact that the back, of course, the hole for him to attach the haulers is covered up. But hey, that's what we get nowadays with haulers, right? He's got a surprisingly like shiny, sparkly black paint job. This is a really cool one, I think. Another very unique item. Now, we have, let's see, 4 items left. Where do we go next? Well, I try to go in order, so after cars, I guess we have to talk about our Cars Tune item, but you know what, yeah, we'll do that next. This, I almost wanted to save for the end because this is genuinely probably my favorite item here today. I'm very excited about this one. I can't believe I got this one. This comes from Heavy Metal Mater. It's Dex. I just reviewed the Disney Store Dex a few days ago, and I absolutely love Dex. Genuinely one of my favorite minor Cars characters. I was just talking in my review of the Disney Store one how he says one of my favorite quotes in the entire Cars franchise when he says, that sounds like angels printing money. Dex is a car I've wanted for a very long time, but I feel like he's always been just out of reach. But this year he seemed a bit cheaper than I remember. There were some really good listings for him going around right about now, so I asked for him, and genuinely this has got to be my favorite item I got this year. And that's saying something, because I got some really great ones this year, and 2 of the Cars 2 items I'm going to show you guys in a few minutes are somewhat like my all-time favorite cars I've ever received in hauls, but Dex is definitely up there as well. This is one that I'm so happy to have. I don't think you should ever be this happy about a red Tex Dynaco repaint, but he's so cool and he's so funny. And I'm just so excited for opening him up and reviewing him and seeing all the things I could do with him on my channel. I love his facial expression. I love the color scheme. This is just a top tier Cars character and top tier diecast in my opinion. You know what else is a top tier Cars diecast? Actually, it's a top tier 2-pack, because our first Cars 2 item is one that I've been trying to get for like 5 years at this point. No joke. We've got 3 items left, a 2-pack and 2 more singles. And this first one is one that's never been all that expensive, and I've been meaning to buy it on so many occasions. Time and time again, I've been meaning to buy it, and I just didn't. But this one is genuinely so cool. I've always had a fascination with like niche and obscure Cars diecast items. So an item like this, an item made for Cars 2 based on something that was cut from the movie, is one that I certainly wanted to get my hands on. And after years and years of wanting to get it and never pulling the trigger, I've put it on my Christmas and birthday list so many times, just never got it. I am so happy, so excited to finally be the proud owner of Mater with spy glasses. Yes, really. I absolutely adore this item because of just how strange the story behind it is. This is a Mater that didn't appear in Cars 2, but was made for Cars 2. He was cut from the movie. We saw him in some concept art. Some storyboards, I believe. But he was all over early Cars 2 merchandise. The Lego Ultra Build Mater, the books, or several books that he appears in, and this diecast. This diecast, made for the release of Cars 2, was part of the Mater Secret Mission series, which was a Walmart exclusive back at the time. Also released a lot of other items like Finn McMissile with weapons, and I believe the packs with like Fred Pacer were a part of this line as well, and those are very rare now. But Mater spy glasses tends to just go around $20 to $25. So like I said, I've been meaning to get it for years, and I'm so happy I finally got it. Genuinely one of my favorite items here today as well, just like Dex. In addition to this Mater though, Acer is actually also exclusive. This is an exclusive expression variant of Acer, which is another reason why I wanted this 2-pack so much. It's 2 cars that I didn't have before, 2 cars that are exclusive to this 2-pack, and a not all that uncommon 2-pack, and it's just so fascinating. I did a whole video on the history of Mater with spyglasses back in the day. It's just always been such an interesting topic to me ever since I did that story of episode on him back in like 2018. Yeah, so Mater and an Acer expression variant. The really great thing with an Acer expression variant is that I could just use it as a new lemon, like in Cars Adventures or in another video. You know, if I ever need like a whole army of lemons, I could just sneak them in the background and have it not be Acer, and that's really nice, honestly. Now, our next Cars 2 item comes from 2013. This, in my opinion, is one of the less interesting cars here, but it's one I'm still pretty excited about. It is another background character, actually another Palace Chaos background character, and if you've been watching my last few birthday and Christmas hauls, you might realize that I've been getting quite a few of these Palace Chaos characters recently. It's because a lot of them are quite easy to find and just really nice modern background characters. Now, I could add Maurice Wilks to the collection. Maurice is a character who is really easy to find online, who I simply didn't have. I'm not the biggest fan of him. In fact, for a while, he was a Cars diecast I wasn't really ever intending on getting. Back in the day, I was good friends with a Cars channel named Disney Cars Collector, and I would be in the chat of his live streams pretty much every time he did one, and we were really good friends. And I remember asking him once, what's your least favorite car of all time? And he said Maurice. And that's always stuck with me. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, Maurice is kind of an ugly design, I began to think. And for years and years, I really felt that way about Maurice. And to this day, it's really not a personal favorite of mine. But I wanted to get him because, well, I may not like him all that much. I have kind of come around on him. I do quite like the design. It is fun. It's basically Sergeant Highgear without the hat, you know, same model as like Margaret Motorray. We've seen it all throughout the Cars series. But I mainly wanted to get it for that sort of, like there's significance to me here, right? The sort of the value behind, you know, always being on those live streams and talking about how we didn't like Maurice Wilks. Anyway, our final Cars 2 item comes from 2014, and it's another one I am so insanely excited about. You guys are not ready for this, okay? This is a Cars diecast that I really should have gotten 10 years ago. See, 10 years ago, I was in Disneyland, and I bought a Cars 2 character that was new for 2014, an item that I really liked because it looked really funny. But it was part of a set of 2. But much like Johnny and Jamie, these 2 weren't sold in a 2-pack, so I only got 1 car. I don't even think I saw the partner to this character back in 2014 when I was in Disneyland. And this character went on to be quite the icon of my channel, appearing in a lot of pretty funny running jokes that appear quite often in Cars Adventures and other videos. And now he's not alone anymore. Meet Geertrude. We did it, guys. We have obtained Geertrude. It's Geertrude. Yeah, so Ludwig has been a personal favorite of mine for years. He's just so funny looking. No offense to him. He's beautiful in his own way. Look at that guy. And for years, I've been wanting to get my hands on the Geertrude diecast, and now I finally have her. I don't know, like, what to do now. I don't know what to do, because Ludwig for years has been a stupid running joke character on my channel. And now that I also have Geertrude, like, I don't even know what I'm supposed to do. Like, does Ludwig find his wife after all these? Like, what is her purpose? I'm so used to Ludwig being alone. It's so funny to me to now finally, after 10 years, have Geertrude. When I opened this one up, my mom said, yeah, she was kind of creepy. Yeah, you're right. But I think Geertrude is wonderful. Wonderful item. And there we have it, guys. My full 2024 Cars diecast Christmas haul. Really excited about a lot of these items, and I can't wait to take a look at them over the next few weeks on the channel with you guys. I'm going to have to find a good way to balance these with the items that I still have left to review. We'll figure it out. If I'm not active on the channel over the next few days, it's because I might be taking a break for the last few days of the year, but I do think before that I'm gonna pre-record some reviews, so I still have some content out. Got some really fun stuff coming in January. I'm off of college until January 21st, so I'm gonna spend that time working on Project 10K, working on the planes video, getting a whole lot of stuff done. And one thing I do know for certain, even if I do take a break for the next few days, like I said, I'll probably pre-record videos. If I do, stay tuned to my community tab. I'll probably keep you guys posted there. Also, stay tuned to my community tab because, as per usual, I will be putting up polls so you guys can vote for what item I should review. Let me know in the comments which items you want to see on that first poll, which are the most interesting to you guys. Unfortunately, YouTube polls only allow 4 options now instead of 5, which is weird and annoying, unnecessary change. But yeah, now one video I do know I'm going to make before the end of the year is I want to do a video going over every single Cars diecast I got in 2024, and maybe a follow-up where I rank all of them. We'll have to see. Also, stay tuned to the channel because I'm going to be doing my typical top 10 best cars of the year list, and also the one where you guys get to vote for your favorites. So stay tuned. A lot of really fun stuff coming. Thank you all so much for watching. Let me know what you guys got for Christmas in the comments. If you do celebrate it, I hope you had a wonderful day. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye now.